Hello, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about smart problem solving project. This is basically a brand new project that I've been leading at ACU, and just last week we got the confirmation that we got grant for it. So I thought today I should come and have a pitch, right? So it's not that I'll, like you guys come in with all the data and results that we got this, we got that. No, we got the grant and we have plan, and I'm here to pitch it and also ask you if you're interested to be part of it. So the plan is just develop the module, smart problem solving, that I call that, next year, from the beginning till the end. Hopefully by end of next year, I can present it here with a lot of results, hopefully promising results. All right, so when it's come to problem solving, I guess all of you guys know how much the students struggle, right? Particularly numeracy. So I thought it's a little bit hard to find data when it's come to higher education, but I thought maybe I should start with talking about the numeracy performance of the Year 9 NAPLAN, the recent NAPLAN results that came out, to see exactly what's going on in New South Wales and Australia in general, to figure out exactly how good we are or how bad we are. So we have around, let's say, 300,000 students this year. And you can see the results, almost 50% of the students, they kind of have strong mathematical background, or they perform nicely in numeracy and solving problems. Only 11.5, this is the best result, by the way, so compared to other states, New South Wales is doing better, exceeding. So that means it's above the standard expectation, right? The rest of them, either they're all right, or we would say we're struggling. So if you actually add it up, that would be around 34.2% of the students, they need help. And if you actually calculate it, 34% of 300,000 is a lot, right? Is a lot. So I don't know how you interpret it in terms of how good we are, how bad they are. There are a lot of kind of news out there talking about the performance of the students, probably read about that. But I thought it's kind of good to start with some sort of stats, what's going on in Australia. And for other states, kind of similar. Northern Territory was the worst. Only 2.8% of the students are exceeding. The rest of them are kind of, struggling quite badly. So I just wanted to kind of give you some, I would say talk about a little bit about myself, not bragging about it, but just give you a bit like what I'll do it and why I ended up working on problem solving and why it's a big deal for me. So I did a PhD in applied maths, Adelaide, and I did a postdoc at uni in biomaths. And then I got interested in business. And because I always like to have my own brand in maths education, and I like to kind of work with kids. And so over the last 7 years, I've been developing Bojipie. I'm quite interested in STEM education, storytelling, edutainment, and of course, AI integration. That's kind of something that I'm passionate about. I ended up kind of creating the platform, testing it, working with the students, with kids. And I ended up during COVID writing a mini book that I called it The Maths Mind. So mainly my own experience of being in maths education space, or maths space in general, and talking about the challenge of maths education, particularly in Australia, also what we get out of it. So something that I was quite big in the whole things for me was problem solving. And it was just like we literally solve problems from morning to night. And for me in particular, it was quite a big deal because I got into business, and when it's come to business, you basically need to work on. There's so many problems to be solved, from creating a brand, even come up with a name, and how to sell it, how to market it, what kind of content you want to develop, particularly when it's come to education, and in particular maths education. And it's very hard to create a content that kids like and can relate to. And I really like to kind of give a color to maths, and I sort of like kids to learn it in a fun way rather than kind of abstract way that they struggle a lot with it, right? So, and then I sort of talked about storytelling and the power of storytelling when it's come to, educating kind of people. And obviously at the end, EdTech. So that's before actually AI hit, was during the COVID time. And then what happened, well, these are the ones of questions that I've been quite interested in and thinking about. So how do we solve problems in general? Do we know strategies? I don't know how you guys deal with your own problems, but are they in professional kind of space or personal kind of life? But I never learned the strategies. I organically solved my problems, but I was kind of wondering whether there is a strategic way of solving problems, right? Do we really rely on the strategies or randomly come up with solutions? Can maths problem solving strategy apply to real life challenges, right? Can we actually get all we learn from maths space and take it to life and actually deal with personal problems or not? What matters most? Is it the journey or is it just the final solution? Which one that matters the most? And does learning math change how we solve problems in daily life? Right? There's been quite interesting open-ended kind of questions that you might come up with all different sorts of answers for it. But that's been part of the stuff that I've been thinking about over the last 7 years. And AI hit 2 years ago, right? So it got quite popular. I don't know how much you play around with ChatGPT. This is just a data on ChatGPT, by the way. There's heaps of AI platforms out there. I don't know if you kind of play around with it or not, but I thought I'd put this stats there to just see how many people already use it, from which age group. That was quite interesting for me to find out. At the moment, they have ChatGPT, OpenAI had 180.5 million users, right? It's massive. And in September this year, ChatGPT recorded 3.1 billion website visits, right? And this pie chart actually shows age group and what percent of actually that, the users use particularly ChatGPT, right? So 30% age group 18 to 24, probably these are mainly students. And again, from 25 to 34 is 34%, again, probably higher kind of education, now what's called graduate, PhD, honors, masters, and probably those who actually work, use it. And 17.5 for 35 to 44 age of that, and then smaller groups for different age groups, smaller percentages. It kind of shows how populated it is, and also you can predict it, like in 2 years' time, that's going to be, I don't know, massive, yeah. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to kind of find all that data. Particularly, I like that one because we want to talk about higher education. So I thought, all right, kids aside, but I do have the numbers for kids as well. This is the kids one. So it's a little bit hard to find out what's going on when it's come to kids and what percent of them using it for what. But this data came out by RP Technology. So they figured out that around 70, what's the percent? It's around 71% of the students, that's actually, kids, right? Writing essays and doing work, 71%. Solving numerical problems, 41% of students using it already, right? So if you're interested in knowing kind of what's going on at schools at like kids level. And then this came out by Higher Education Policy Institute. They interviewed 1,250 UK undergrads, and they asked them the use of ChatGPT or AI. So you see that for explaining concepts, 72% of these are students, and you can see across all different age groups, right? So yes, it's fairly popular, and mainly for explaining concepts. Also, maths is part of it, right? There's not clear exactly what percent they use it for maths, but I think it's a kind of a generic information you can get. Summarizing relevant articles, 59%, and 57% in general across different age groups, and suggest research ideas, again, 57%, age 25 or above, probably their master's students or PhD, and for assessment as well. Again, this is just one data. It's a little bit hard to find out what's going on. It's just because it's still using AI in assessment or doing works, depends on the policy of each university. Australia may not declare it. So how I've been using it. I got into it because of business, to be honest. 2 years ago, as soon as ChatGPT came along, I upgraded, and I mainly was interested in saving times for marketing, and so it's grateful with words and language and stuff like that. But then I got interested in getting more stuff out of it. So summarizing, creating content, assessment, development, a research project, brainstorming. These are kind of the stuff that I play around with and is doing pretty good. Also, imaging, like marketing, is pretty good. I also got interested in coding aspect of it, and it was surprisingly good even 2 years ago when I started it, and now it's getting even better. It blew my mind 2 years ago when I literally converted an idea, plain text, into a properly functioning web app in maths, right? And that was 2 years ago. So imagine now. See, because it's going fast and it's getting better and better at these models. And my idea was quite simple. Like, when it's come to a scatter plot, right? Then it's, you just give the students a data, an Excel file, just insert a graph, and it just shows the scatter plot. Simple, easy. But if you want to teach the same thing to a year 7 kid, they don't know even how to use the Excel and stuff like that. So it makes it complicated. So I was thinking about a web app that is just shows these dots on the XY plane, and they can touch it and move it up and down. And while they're touching and moving it up and down, it shows the numbers. So what's the X, what's the Y, what's the X, you know what I mean? So, and from this idea, simple idea, just put it in there. And so it give me all the code, HTML code, I got it, without even thinking, without even contributing a single line. I copy-pasted in my website, and it was just functioning. And I included for the content kind of that I developed for kids. So it's been really wonderful. I like that. But I don't know, again, your personal experience with this, because I keep talking to my colleagues, and some people are still laughing at it. So anyway, problem statement. What's wrong? What's happening and what's wrong? First of all, when it's come to problem solving, it's really hard because it involves like strategical thinking, and thinking is hard in general. Low engagement. When you don't know what you want to do, why you should be interested in doing, or you're not interested in doing it anyway, right? And misuse of AI platform, right? So at the moment, they're just anybody have any sort of problem, chuck it in there, get some answer out of it. But you should have an analytical mind to be able to evaluate it. Is that all right, whatever I got out of it? Are we still relevant as educators or not? Because it basically, particularly for first year, even first year uni, I think, heaps of problems that I got it to do, that the answers were pretty much accurate. So it's a lot of kind of questions about educators' roles in future, even now, then AI is there, right? So this is the modules that I've been proposing with also my colleagues at ACU, so Department of Education, Karen McDade, if you know her, she's pretty good at education, maths education in particular, maths team at ACU and Center for Education and Innovation. So we ended up thinking about a project that is open access module. And we want to integrate conventional problem solving strategies. So we want to come up with list all these strategies that exist already, and then get some resources for it, and actually teach the students how to solve problem first. Yeah? And then plus AI tools. So pretty much targeting the strategies, evaluating AI solution that you get out of it, also exploring multiple strategies with AI. So you tried without it and you actually tried with, and then so you compare it, what kind of results you get from two kind of angles, and validating the student chosen method. So we're also interested in when the students know exactly what to do, is this a student able to actually implement the same idea and get the answer from AI, also is able to interpret it and validate it or not. So that's the plan. And we're hoping to improve problem-solving skills of the students, enhancing understanding of mathematical concepts, and also hopefully they get prepared to kind of deal with real-world challenges. how does it work? So we already found research-backed resources, NRich Open, maybe you know some of these platforms already. Also books and for AI tools. I'm quite big on ChatGPT, but I'm sort of kind of exploring other sorts of tools that we can use. And yeah, so students learn to critically assess AI generative solutions, and then we also like to host it on Canvas, but make it as an open educational resources for any sort of institution who is interested in problem solving strategies, and they can use it. So as I said, this is part of ACU project, Center for Education and Innovation, and also in collaboration with the School of Education and Arts. And I have my colleagues at UTS, none of them are here today, but they're also interested in this module, and we've already kind of started thinking about how we can make it relevant to the subject, that UTS subjects that they deal with problem solving. So if you guys interested at all, come and talk to me, and we can think about it and plan it then more effectively. So open to collaboration and beta testing in particular. And what else? Thank you. Any questions?